Now we're talking about how to fill this form. This is a recommended form that is made by the Laboratory of Soils in the University of Maine at Orono. You can download this form by internet in the web page, or you can ask for someone, for your cooperative extension staff in your county office, to have these samples together with the boxes. And by the way, you don't need to have the boxes, but you need to have the form, because if you don't have the box, you can use a Ziploc bag with a quart of gallon. That's enough sample. Now, going to this again, it's important that you identify appropriately the boxes that you want to send. You need to give that a specific name, whatever you want. Maybe you can see the woods, the pen, the Heifer's one if you want. But the thing is, you need to write that in the line and put the same name in the box. After that, you need to go to say how many acres or at least square feet that area has, and you need to choose an appropriate type of analysis. So to know which of that the information is also in the web page, but also you can go here in the second page of the form and you will see all the analysis that the laboratory can done. In our case, because we are working with pastures, with grasses, it will be the first box, and in there is the 100 codes, 101, 105. Each of those can differentiate if you have in your pasture just grasses, or maybe grass with clover, or maybe alfalfa, if you want to start a new crop, or if you have already one established. All those changes are important to define, because the recommendation of fertilization will be different depending of the code that you are selecting and you are putting here with the sample, with your box in the form. You need to check also which kind of pH you want to have on your soil. Maybe you can go with 5.5 for grasses. You can go to 6 or 7 if you want to plant alfalfa or other small grain crops. And finally, you want to select which type of analysis you want to do. And by that way, you in the same sheet at the end, you will see all the packets that the soil lab can do. I will recommend that, because we are working with pastures, you can go with the basic, what is called the standard test. In that way, you will have the information with the pH, organic matter, and major nutrients that you will need to know. And of course, with that information, the soil lab will give you a recommendation of fertilization that you can later extrapolate to chemical fertilizer or to manure. And of course, very important, in this analysis as well, there is the prices. So if you want to add more things to your analysis, the price will increase. When you finish to fill out the form, you just need to put together the form with the many boxes that you want to send. Of course, the boxes that are already filled of soils, and the payment. And after that, you just need to put maybe a rubber band or maybe a tape, just to be sure that it will not open. And you need to mail that to the Laboratory of Soils at Orono. Later, when you receive your results, usually by email, and also you will get a physical copy to the address that you put in the form at the beginning. In there, you will see the type of nutrients that the soil lab analyzed, and also the levels in little bars. The good thing in that analysis that it will show you which of those nutrients are in a low concentration, medium concentration, and even more than above concentration. So by having that, you will recognize which one you may need to put on your soil. But added to that, the soil lab will also send you the recommendation of fertilization that specific soil, that specific sample will need. And they usually will say that showing you that will need so many pounds of nitrogen or phosphate or potash, for example. If you are applying legumes, they will give you also a recommendation of boron if needed, and everything in there, it will be written on your results. It's recommendable that you do these soil samplings approximately each 3 years. This is because the characteristics of the soil will not change so fast. But for sure, you will need to keep up in the management that you are doing, in the fertilization that you're applying, how that will impact your soil in the long term. maybe changes in the pH, maybe changes in the nutrients. By doing this and being very careful about what you are doing, you are improving the performance of your pasture. You are increasing the nutritive value. You are improving a better diet to your animals. And for sure that's very important, because at the end it will be represented in more meat or more milk. Thank you for joining me today. Thank you for seeing this video. If you have some questions, you can contact me in my office to my email, jaime.garzon@maine.edu.